Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics, and yesterday Boris Johnson promised Parliament on two occasions that we would have an effective test and trace programme implemented by June the 1st, at least by heavy implication. And within a couple of hours of that promise, the government announced that actually it wouldn't be able to do that after all. And in this video, I'd like to discuss the latest in this farce of a response to the greatest threat to British lives in a century. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. Yep, and I know what some people are going to be saying as well. Oh, Boris Johnson misled Parliament. There's a shocker. And in fact, he misled Parliament in Prime Minister's questions on at least two occasions. So don't expect this to be the last one I talk about this week. But on this particular occasion, it was Boris Johnson making a great play of the fact that he'd been clear with the leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer, that our tracing programme would be fully implemented on June the 1st. He gave an answer that basically suggested this is going to be in place on June the 1st. To which Starmer wanted to pin him down and said, OK, right, I don't want you playing with words here. So I'm going to ask you, are we going to have an effective tracing programme, an effective test and tracing programme fully implemented on June the 1st? And Boris Johnson to this seemed upset that Starmer wanted him to clarify this position a second time. I mean, I've given you my answer. You're just asking these questions without listening to my responses. It's outrageous. You know, Johnson accused Starmer of not listening to his previous response. So we're clear then. Starmer asked if an effective, he used the word very clearly and pointedly, effective tracing strategy would be in place on June the 1st. And Johnson said that he had said twice, yes, there will. Okay then. And this is obviously an absolutely vital part of getting, for example, schools to open up a bit more on June the 1st, which is a government strategy there, as well as other shops as well that currently are not allowed. And for anyone paying attention, it was obvious that this boast was never going to be realised. And I would say for two reasons. First of all, history. The government have not as yet met a single one of their deadlines. I pointed out yesterday in Prime Minister's questions, Boris Johnson keeps making play of the fact, oh, we're going to be implementing this thing at this future date. They're never able to say, hooray, we've done this thing now, except when they tell a lie. So they haven't actually met any of their deadlines regarding the coronavirus measures. And the second thing is that if a test and trace system were to be fully in place by June the 1st, which is just 2 weeks away, it would already have had to have been rolled out. Because, of course, when you first throw a system out there, it's going to have teething problems. And also it takes time to ramp up. You know, testing takes time to ramp up. Tracing takes time to ramp up as everyone gets the app on their phone and gets it working and all the rest of it. But testing hasn't actually increased in weeks. When you go by the real numbers, not the ones they make up, the real numbers that they actually publish, not the rubbish that they spout in front of the cameras. And tracing hasn't been set up at all. It just doesn't exist. And this is presumably why Starmer wanted Johnson to be really clear on this promise, and perhaps didn't mind Johnson scoring a cheap political point by accusing Starmer of not listening to his previous answer. Because I can see it now in the next Prime Minister's questions, which won't be next week. They're on holiday next week. And I know that's weird. Some people think, well, why are they going on holiday during an emergency? Now, I'd take a different view. I would take the view it's nothing to do with the emergency as such. The reason why Parliament rises and goes off for a week or two and here and there is so that MPs can do work in their local constituencies. That's very important. But MPs are at home anyway. You know, they're engaging with Parliament remotely. They don't have to travel all the way down to London. Which for a lot of MPs, most MPs, is an arduous trek. So they're already in their constituencies doing what they can there anyway. So that, for me, is the reason why they shouldn't be buggering off for a week's holiday. But they are, so it's actually in 2 weeks' time. And I can imagine the sort of things Starmer will say, and he may stand up and say, and I remind, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister, that when I asked him if an effective test and trace programme would be implemented by June the 1st, he told me twice that it would. He even seemed annoyed that I had to ask for clarification because he felt his answer was so clear. we would have a test and trace fully implemented by June the 1st. So what, Mr. Speaker, does the Prime Minister have to say about the fact that his statement that was so clear that I had unfairly made him repeat got so disastrously wrong? Or at least he will ask it in the way that Starmer would ask it, which will be more precise than I would, because one thing that Starmer's been very good at is quoting directly. I paraphrase. Now, I mean, don't try and get me wrong on details when I say I paraphrase as well. I know the Prime Minister didn't specifically promise with his words that the system would be up and fully working by June the 1st. But given that Starmer asked the Prime Minister if this would be the case, and he used the word effective and made it very clear, effective, and Johnson didn't say that it wouldn't, and he also made it clear that he'd already answered the question, that means, to my mind, he's politically committed. You know, after all, the question was about promising that the system would be fully in place and effective. Johnson says that he answered the question. Now, that's a yes or no question. Johnson says he answered it. So was his answer yes or was it no? He didn't answer no. So that only leaves yes. So I doubt Starmer or parts of the media are going to let him wriggle out with an exercise in semantics. So what is preventing us having this system up and running right now? The first thing is that although Johnson made a big announcement of the, tens of thousands really of contact tracers being employed for the role, we don't have the app that allows them to actually do their job. The app we all need to download onto our phones. And the point is that on the same afternoon that Johnson attempted a fiery response to Starmer in Parliament by saying how confident he was that this system would be in place and will you stop asking me about it, his government said that very afternoon, shortly after Prime Minister's questions, that the app won't be ready for June the 1st. They said it might be ready a few weeks later, but it could be months later. Who knows? We don't know. And without testing, tracing and isolating, none of which are in operation at an adequate level, but it makes no difference. A single one of those on its own isn't enough. You have to do all three. Means that we can never get on top of this pandemic pre-vaccine. And that is on the assumption that a vaccine can even work as hoped. And we'd better pray it does, because this government has not shown any sign that it will ever get on top of this without it. And this government has got years to go before we get a chance to consign it to the dustbin of history. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.